All right, everybody. Well, here we are, the three amigos, Frans, Mark Porter, and myself. We're going to be talking a little bit, just doing a quick little recap of what's going on with the markets here in San Francisco. I'm going to talk about briefly on the 321 temporary buy down. What is it? How does it work? And I'm going to give an example. And then Mark's going to talk about, something that very few people talk about, which needs to be discussed, which is, okay, now you have some assets. What are you doing to build legacy? What are you doing so that you don't force your family to start beating each other up, so that you can put all the things that you need to in place, such as life insurance, such as a trust, such as your wills, your advanced health directives, your POAs, all these things. And Mark's going to shed some light on that. So with that, Frans, take it away. Tell us what's going on in the real estate
So what's
market
going
here in
on
the
in the
city.
market? Yeah, this is the conversation we're having every day. And from a realtor's perspective, you can see here, I just want to do the quick screen share. All the greens are active, and there's a ton of active properties, and you can see the red stuff is what's closed in the past 30 days. So given the high interest rates, given the active properties, a lot of my clients are they're on pause. They're waiting to see this market go down. And the facts are there's a ton of inventory sitting there. I was going to get into like days on market, but I think you can kind of already understand. All of this is sitting, it's clicking on days on market every second, right? And it's creating pressure for sellers. And what's each seller going to do? And as I mentioned, each seller's in their own different space. Some got to sell, some might pull the lease, some might, move into that. So what's going to happen with this as we get into November? We talked before about a 3 month, 6 month, 9 month conversation. The 3 months are right now, and it's not moving. We know that. So how does this lead into next year? And this inventory is going to sit a little bit's moving. This is in the marina, Pack Heights, 10% is still moving, right? And I was just going to jump in. If I can switch to, let's see, just coming soon.
So quick question as you're doing that. I'm noticing some of these are very higher on the higher priced areas or prices. Is that what's not moving? Or what's the inventory that's not moving? Because, we hear the news and there's not enough inventory, and yet here you are telling us there's a bunch of inventory. But is it on the higher end? Like I see a 10.8 million. I mean, this is not the everyday person, right? So what's sitting?
Excellent question. This is the marina. This is not the everyday person, but this is just a snapshot of everything going on. Homes, condos, all price points. There is data that the luxury stuff, 5 million and above, is sitting, and it's even softer. So if you're playing in that game, you can cut, maybe 10 to 15% off of that.
You can get a good deal.
Just as you can with, the smaller 1.1, this little one bedroom sitting there, so definitely the luxury is softer too.
And then also condos versus single family residents, they're sitting longer.
I put it all here, but we could definitely dial it in because there is some nuances to the different price points.
Okay.
But in general, it's all just kind of sitting there, but we are lower on inventory. What's happened now is this is the September, October push, and all this inventory got released, and it's all kind of sitting there, and some of it's moving. So where that goes is this little coming soon thing is the conversation I'm trying to get to people to understand. Where is this going to go in? Right now, there's no coming soon because they already released it. Some of that inventory is going to sit and get repurposed for January and February. So you're going to see that same listing pop up again in 3 months. You're going to pull it from the market in Thanksgiving
and refresh it.
Yeah. But it's not to say that there's not an opportunity for my clients who are ready to go. I'm finding that agent, or I'm finding that expired listing, and I could even click the buttons there: expired listings, withdrawn listings, listings on hold. Why not go and make an offer there? If it's in your parameters, I'm looking at all of it. And the coming soon, this purple stuff is going to start clicking in December and January and February, because the sellers are going to wait. They're going to track the market like we are, and they're going to say, do I release my product? Do I get active? And I'm saying, hey, if this coming soon is hitting for what my client wants, I'm knocking on the door saying, let's get in there now. So this purple stuff is just going to keep growing, because some of the greens are going to turn to purples too. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. We're in the 3 months now. Where's the 6 months going to take us? And how are you? I think that's where we lead into you, Ed. and I'll stop the screen shares. People don't like the 8% interest rate, but I think we can solve for that, you know?
Absolutely. And so that's where this comes in, folks, where we talk about things like the temporary buy down. There is a difference between temporary and permanent. Keep in mind, permanent is exactly what it says. You pay points, which, by the way, 1 point is equal to 1% of the loan amount. You pay points and you buy down your interest rate that is permanent throughout the whole 30 years of the loan, right? That doesn't mean you have to keep it because there's no prepayment penalties, but that's what you're locking in. Now, the temporary buy down, which is now really, I think more than ever, a really great tool, is where the seller gives you a credit that is used to subsidize your monthly payment as if your rate was, for example, in the 3-2-1 buy down, the first year, your payment is as if the rate, instead of being 8%, is what? 5%. So here in this example, this is a $1.5 million purchase price, putting 20% down. Your loan is $1.2 million. So the seller would have to pony up $57,545.15 so that that money gets used to subsidize the difference between an 8% payment and a 5% payment the first year. The second year, your payment will be as if your rate was 6%. The third year is as if it were 7%, hence the 3-2-1, right, decrease. And then all other subsequent years would be 8%. But the hope here, and the plan, let's say even better, is that rates will come down between now and the third year so that you can refinance out of this. But at least you have some payment relief right now based on the seller giving you a seller credit to get that temporary buy down. So here is the example. By the way, folks, I can do these all day long. You want a specific one, please reach out to me or reach out to Frans, and we will get you a customized scenario for you in your situation. Mark, take it away, man.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. I mean, one of my favorite authors, Stephen Covey, says, begin with the end in mind. You know, why are you saving? You know, why are you investing? What is it that you want in the future? A lot of times people are sacrificing, and you know, they're driving a certain car instead of the Maserati that they want, or what have you, and they're sacrificing over time for these big giant goals they have in the future. And what it comes down to for most people is they want some kind of consistent, sustainable, reliable cash flow in retirement at some point, whatever retirement means for you. For some people, what's common in Frans's business with realtors, sometimes they don't officially retire at 65 or 60 or what have you. They really enjoy what they're doing. And I know Frans loves to help those first-time home buyers and also those families that have had a death recently and what have you, help them get to the other side of what their temporary problem is. So he may not retire at 65. He might keep doing it until 70 or 75. I think I will probably work until about 75 myself. One of my favorite realtors in Vallejo recently retired at the age of 83. And you know, I would like to be able to do that. You go around looking at open houses all day and having champagne and little fancy sandwiches at the open house, Frans. That's what you do all day, right? There's no contracts. There's no negotiations. There's no escrow. There's no problems with title, right? But beginning with the end in mind, based on how you want to withdraw from your assets and based on how much tax you want to pay on that withdrawal, you want to start with that now. Saving money today on income taxes may not be the best idea for you in the future. You've really got to think about where you're putting money today and how you're withdrawing that money in the future. And real estate is one of the few assets that you can actually bring in a true silent partner. Ed Diaz knows a lot of them. The banks, the mortgage providers, you're going to bring in a silent partner that's going to help you buy 70 to 80% of that property. And they're really silent. As long as you mail the check to them every month, they're really silent. And you can leverage yourself into a whole new situation with cash flow with real estate. So real estate is one of those items that over the long run is a really good idea. And some people say, well, I'm going to wait for interest rates to come down. Well, go take a look at a chart for me and tell me about interest rates. As soon as interest rates come down, prices go up.
And
The best
competition.
time to buy. Yeah, the best time to buy a house is yesterday or when other people are not buying. The best time to buy a house is yesterday or when other people are not buying. You missed yesterday, so now people are not buying right now, perhaps. Get out there and secure that real estate. And like Ed said, interest rates are probably temporary. My mother's first mortgage was 17.5. Mine was 9%. We just refinanced a couple of years, triplex into 2.7. Interest rates are temporary, but prices, generally speaking, are kind of going up most of the time. So beginning with the end in mind, reading Stephen Covey's book, if you want to secure consistent, sustainable, reliable after-tax cash flow in the future, real estate's a great way to go. You get some tax benefits now and along the way. And possibly if you sell it properly, you pay no tax on the sale either. But also things like Roth IRA, Roth 401k, cash value life insurance, my favorite double tax-free California municipal bonds, and your home equity. You could sell your house for $500,000 tax-free if you're married and you're both on title. So that might be a way of helping yourself out. Many people have moved to lower cost of living places. But if you want to stay in the Bay Area, you probably should have at least one house in the Bay Area as soon as possible for that housing security in retirement, and having those documents in order. Don't call us after you've received the death certificate to put in place a trust. It doesn't work that way. California is going to have their hands all over that estate if there's no trust in place and properly funded. And I love to talk to people about estate planning. It's not that complicated, and there are attorneys that are really qualified locally, that are affordable, that are definitely a lot cheaper than a probate administration. Probate administration, required fee, required timeline, required court appearances, could take a year and a half. You don't want to go through that kind of thing. So absolutely give me a ring if you want to talk about anything related to financial planning. I've been here 21 years. I hope to be around another 21 years. I really enjoy it, and would be glad to talk to you about what you're trying to do for yourself and your family.
Absolutely. And why are we bringing this all up, folks, is because if you don't have a team, then you have nothing. Then you are exposing yourself to the elements. This is the power of having a team. Notice how we can spit out ideas all day long, but here's the thing, it's on you to implement. We have a whole team ready for you. We're ready to go. Please reach out to us. Let us know. It's not going to cost you any money. Matter of fact, we actually buy lunch, don't we, Mark?
Yes, sir.
We'll buy lunch. We'll just have a conversation. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't obligate you to anything, but at least you get all the brain share. That's important so that you can build a legacy and stop paying other people and start building your own plan and paying yourself. So thank you for watching. Thank you both, and let's meet sooner than later. And I'm looking for my button here. So let's stop sharing. All right, guys, make sure that you reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with both of them. Thank you both.